A shocking silence surrounded the death of one of the most powerful women in Christian broadcasting. While tributes poured in across television and social media, her own son reportedly learned about her passing through the network's attorney instead of a call from family. No warning. No opportunity to say goodbye. And now, many are beginning to ask what was really happening behind closed doors at Daystar Television Network. Tonight, we're looking beyond the headlines surrounding the death of Joni Lamb, the co-founder of Daystar Television Network. Because this story is about far more than the loss of a television pioneer. It is about family division, growing controversy, and serious questions regarding the future of the largest Christian television network in America. Joni Lamb launched Daystar in 1993 alongside her first husband, Marcus Lamb. What began as a small Christian broadcasting ministry eventually exploded into a media empire reaching more than 64 million homes across the United States. That reach surpassed even Trinity Broadcasting Network, making Daystar the most widely distributed Christian TV network in the nation. At 65 years old, Joni Lamb's death on May 7, 2026, sent shockwaves through the Christian community. But as details continue to emerge, many believe the public has only heard a fraction of the full story. Before we go any further, let's take a careful look at the official statement released by Daystar itself. Because some of the wording in that announcement has raised eyebrows and sparked even more speculation about what may have been happening behind the scenes. Daystar Television Network announces the passing of President Joni Lamb. May 7, 2026. Daystar Television Network announced today that its president and founder, Joni Lamb, has gone home to be with the Lord. Lamb passed on Thursday, May 7, 2026. Prior to her recent back injury, Lamb had been dealing with serious health matters that she chose to face head-on and in private. The back injury compounded those challenges and led to a more serious medical situation than anyone had anticipated. Despite the dedicated efforts of her medical team and the prayers of so many around the world, her condition worsened in the last few days. Joni founded Daystar Television Network alongside her late husband, Marcus, in 1993. Under her leadership, Daystar grew into one of the largest Christian television networks in the world, reaching viewers in nearly every country through satellite, cable, streaming, and digital platforms. She spent nearly 4 decades on air and behind the scenes, building a ministry that brought the gospel into millions of homes. Joni's love for the Lord and for the people we serve shaped this ministry from the beginning, said the Daystar Board of Directors. We grieve her loss, and we are grateful for the legacy of faith she leaves behind. The family has asked for prayers and for privacy at this time. Information about a memorial service will be shared by the family at the appropriate time. Daystar's mission does not change today. Previously, Lamb worked with the board to ensure an executive leadership team was in place so that the ministry would continue uninterrupted. Programming will proceed as scheduled, with on-air tributes to follow in the coming days. Behind the polished tributes and carefully crafted public statements, another painful story was beginning to emerge. As questions spread about the final days of Joni Lamb, many people started noticing details in Daystar's announcement that did not quite add up. The statement revealed that Joni had been battling serious health matters privately for some time. That phrase alone sparked concern because very little explanation was given about the nature of her condition or who was by her side during those final days. Even more interesting was the claim that an executive leadership team was already prepared to move the ministry forward. Yet despite the importance of such a transition, Daystar Television Network did not publicly identify a single leader by name. But the most emotional part of this story centers around Jonathan Lamb, Joni's eldest son and one-time vice president of the network. Jonathan, the son of Joni and her late first husband Marcus Lamb, spent years working within the ministry his parents built. He was not distant from the organization. He was part of its leadership, part of its growth, and part of the family legacy that helped transform Daystar into the largest Christian television network in America. Yet according to those close to the family, Jonathan was never contacted as his mother's health declined. When Joni entered her final hours, he reportedly received no call inviting him to her bedside. No chance to speak with her. No opportunity for a final goodbye. The situation became even more public when his wife, Susie Lamb, posted a message on X describing the painful circumstances surrounding Joni's passing. Her words immediately fueled even more speculation about what may have been happening inside the Lamb family behind closed doors. We weren't informed of anything. We were down the road, but weren't given a call to say goodbye. We forgive them. He wasn't living on the other side of the country. He wasn't overseas or impossible to contact. He was right down the road. Susie added that they knew Joni was dying that Wednesday evening and nobody picked up the phone. A single phone call changed everything for Jonathan Lamb. But it was not the kind of call a son ever expects to receive. According to reports, Jonathan did not learn about his mother's passing from family members or church leaders. Instead, the news reportedly came from Daystar attorney Tom Callender. That was how he found out that Joni Lamb, the woman who helped build the largest Christian television network in America, was gone. Soon after, Jonathan posted a short message online that caught the attention of many people following the story. He simply wrote, "Thank you for your prayers. God will carry us through." Just one sentence. No long statement. No public anger. Just a grieving son trying to process the loss of his mother while many were left wondering why he was apparently not informed sooner or invited to be by her side during her final moments. To understand why this situation has become so controversial, you have to go back several years and look at the painful conflict that reportedly divided the Lamb family behind closed doors. Jonathan had publicly accused his mother of covering up allegations of sexual abuse involving his daughter. Those allegations sent shockwaves through the Christian broadcasting world. Joni strongly denied the accusations, and authorities in Tarrant County, Texas later investigated the claims but declined to file charges. However, officials reportedly stated the investigation could be reopened if additional testimony or a formal outcry was made later. Even though no charges were filed, the damage to the family and the ministry was enormous. The controversy quickly spread beyond the Lamb household and began affecting Daystar Television Network itself. Several well-known Christian leaders and ministries reportedly decided to remove their programs from the network. Among those said to have stepped away were Jack Graham, Joseph Prince, Joyce Meyer, Greg Laurie, and Jack Hibbs. At the same time, other major figures reportedly continued supporting Daystar, including Kenneth Copeland, Joel Osteen, Robert Jeffress, Alan Jackson, and Samuel Rodriguez. Still, the controversy created visible fractures within the ministry, and eventually Jonathan himself was removed from the network. Now, after Joni's death, an even bigger question is emerging. Who will take control of Daystar moving forward? Before his death in 2021, Marcus Lamb had reportedly made the succession plan very clear. According to multiple statements attributed to him, Joni would lead the ministry after his passing, and after Joni, Jonathan was expected to step into leadership. But now Joni is gone, and Daystar has not announced Jonathan as the next leader. In fact, the ministry has not publicly named anyone. That silence has only intensified speculation. In the official statement announcing her death, Daystar said Joni had been facing serious health matters privately. The statement also referenced 2 hairline fractures in her spine that reportedly contributed to her declining condition. Her husband, Doug Weiss, whom she married in 2023, had previously appeared on air explaining that her back injuries were the reason viewers had not seen her recently. But many viewers online questioned whether there was more to the story. Some pointed to noticeable changes in Joni's recent appearances, including swelling, weight gain, and slurred speech. Others speculated about possible medication side effects or more serious medical complications. Despite all the public discussion, Daystar has provided very few additional details regarding her health condition. The network's statement simply described the situation as serious health matters handled privately. What makes this situation even more complicated is the structure of the organization itself. Daystar Television Network operates under the umbrella of the Word of God Fellowship Church. Because of that arrangement, the ministry does not publicly file IRS Form 990 documents like many non-profit organizations do. That means much of the network's finances, governance structure, and leadership planning remain out of public view. So now, the largest Christian television network in America has lost its founding leader, while supporters and viewers still do not know who is officially in charge. At the same time, this remains a deeply personal tragedy for the Lamb family. A mother has died. Children are grieving. Loved ones are mourning someone who spent decades building a ministry that reached millions around the world. But the questions surrounding her death and the future of Daystar are not going away anytime soon. questions about the leadership transition, questions about the family division, questions about the unresolved allegations and the lack of transparency surrounding the ministry's future. Daystar says its mission will continue uninterrupted. But for many observers, the uncertainty surrounding the organization right now feels larger than ever before. And perhaps the most heartbreaking detail of all is this. The man many believed was supposed to lead the ministry one day reportedly found out his mother had died through a phone call from the network's attorney instead of from family.